What's up, folks? My name is Alex Tavella, and I sometimes pretend to work here at Smoke Inn. So, Honest Abe is unfortunately not with us tonight, but we are here for the Micallef Red national launch exclusively for the moment at Smoke Inn. So, without further ado, I'm not going to waste a lot of time here. I want to chat with my friends. I have joining me tonight my good friends, Dan Thompson and Amanda Micallef of Micallef Cigars. Guys, pleasure to be with you. Always.
Hello, Alex.
Hello again.
It's always great to see you.
It is. I enjoy talking to you guys. So, big day today. Big day. Micallef Red finally here. This is the third in what we have. I don't know if you guys dubbed or who dubbed, but it's the damn color series at this point.
The socialites and the ambassadors have taken over, and they're naming our line of cigars the Color Series.
It is the
we agree
Micallef Color Series, and you guys have really been knocking it out of the park. You know, it's funny. It's funny to be here because, you know, just to let some of the sausage out. God, I think you sent me a prototype of red with blue.
That's right.
What was that? You know, with the original couple boxes of blue, the first two boxes we had. You know, and honestly, I will say that's a testament to the way you guys operate. Nothing is ever like, you know, fly by night. Let's just slap something together and hope it works. So,
hey, when you're manufacturing it and you've got to grow it and process it, there's nothing easy about this business. We have so much respect for the people who've come before us. It is a lot of details to be able to bring a wonderful night like Micallef Red out.
Absolutely. So, even though I know you were with us for KMA Saturday, and we really went over a lot, we had a fun time. We had a fun time on the show. I'm glad you stuck around too. I know I said like a half hour come out. You stuck around for the whole show. We had fun, but I want to first and foremost, for anybody who may not know at this point, this is the cigar we are talking about, the Micallef Red. It is live and available now, dropping today on our site. People have been scooping it up, but give us a rundown of what this cigar is. Let's do some wrapper binder filler stuff. You know, we got to do our
diligence, right?
Due diligence of blend breakdown. So what do we have in this Micallef Red?
Well, in honor of Coop, we'll do it rumor and teaser free. How does that sound?
Of course.
So the Micallef Red builds upon the work that we started with Micallef Black and the Micallef Blue, which started nearly three and a half years ago as we moved to begin growing our own tobacco in Nicaragua. So we grow now in 4 different regions, and we work with the Trent family in Mexico and San Andreas. Out of that work, we're able to bring the Micallef Red, which has a natural San Andreas Habano as the wrapper, sweet as you taste it and begin to work with it. It's lighter than the black because it's not a Maduro. And then inside that wrapper is a Pennsylvania broadleaf that's actually grown in Nicaragua. And that broadleaf brings in this incredible mouthfeel that encompasses your whole palate. And then we have our Mexican and Nicaraguan fillers to bring out the nuances.
So it's interesting because you really, a lot of people are used to seeing the broadleaf in the wrapper, but even here where you have it in the binder, and we kind of talked about, how and why that's the case on KMA, but it's interesting because you see the difference in really that body of smoke that comes from that broadleaf.
Absolutely. I think Amanda was smoking a black and then moved to a red, and just tell them what you told me the other day in the conference room.
Oh, damn. I don't remember. I mean, I talk a lot about, I won't remember exactly what I get back. I think that black is, it's great. It's a little more in your face. I drink a lot of wine, and I talk about black being more like a big, bold cab, right? You know it's there. And red to me has a lot of flavor, but it's almost like a Cab Merlot blend where the Merlots come in and rounded out the sharp edges on a cab. So, I like black a lot, but it's a little bit, it can be a little bit in your face. It's a sharp cigar, if you will. Whereas I think red still has a lot of flavors and a lot of strength, not crazy strength, but some good strength, but it's rounded out. It's a little smoother. It's a little more refined.
Yeah, it really, and I enjoy that darkness, that earthy dark. It's not not a lot of bite to broadleaf, but it has very thick smoke and that very earthy flavor. This is, I gotta say, I've smoked a ton of black. I probably smoked more of blue, and as I've been smoking red, and I've had quite a few of these, is why I've been.
You were prepping, right?
I've been tapping into Abe's stash quite a bit lately. The construction on these cigars is phenomenal. All 3 lines. It's been super consistent throughout. Not that you guys have ever had issues of a construction in any type, but I mean, it has been flawless. It really has. Whatever the quality control that has been going into, especially these lines, it's really top notch. I mean, it really is. I have yet to have even the slightest tough draw, the slightest issue of burn. Really, really well done. I mean, I can't praise you guys enough for that. These have all been phenomenal. Black, blue, and red.
Alex, the way our construction across our entire line is phenomenal. And as we stepped and kind of grew in the industry, I don't think I understood how good it was. And it really goes back to using the traditional Cuban rolling techniques where your filler is put together as a series of little tubes of those leaves, the entubados. And then they're prepped before the binding leaf goes on. And if you look at our cigars, when you cut them on either the foot or the head, you see those little bundles of tobacco that run through the whole cigar. And that technique really leads to the prevention of blockages and failures. And then once the binder's put on, every one of our cigars goes to the draw test. And so every cigar is draw tested to make sure that it has the proper flow. You don't want it to be too light. You don't want it to be too hard. And as you go through different vitolas, that gets adjusted.
So let me ask you this. I'm a process guy, I deal with a lot of different processes and coming up with processes and things. When you guys kind of map this out, not just Red, this whole, like I said, what we've dubbed the color line. Was there my first question is, did you know, because I know you guys, like I said, you're not fly by the seat of your pants. You guys are, for a small company, you run like a company much larger your size. Did you know what cigars you were going to make, what type of blends?
I think it's very fair for us to say, if you don't know what you're going to make tobacco wise, you can't start 3 years earlier with the fermentation and preparation of that tobacco. And now that we're growing a bunch of it, in addition to what we get from the Torrents and San Andreas, we understood the possibilities that we were creating with our tobacco inventory. And these may be some like geeky details, but it's kind of how you have to work through the problem. So you go through these polones that run 12 to 18 months. It depends each year on the individual crop and the weather. And you build your tobacco inventory. Bringing broadleaf in was the first time that we'd brought that into our portfolio. So all of that was strategically planned. I don't know that we could totally take credit that we anticipated how good Red would be. I mean, it's just something that I absolutely love. And I know we've had 50, 60 different ambassadors and socialites get a little taste of it before it was launched. And, people are absolutely loving it. And I think that by bringing in the broadleaf, in addition to the Sumatra and the Habano that we use, it really builds a great product. But all of that's been strategically planned. Now, Amanda drives our marketing. And so, it's one side, you have the construction and the process to build a product, but then you got to find out how it's going to fit in the portfolio and place it. I think a lot of the credit goes to Amanda and some of the decisions she's made. So I don't know, Amanda, you can talk about how you've been envisioning this.
We definitely knew that we weren't, when we came up with black, we knew it wasn't going to just be black, right? So it was definitely envisioned to be a series of cigars. We didn't know exactly if we were going to have 4 or 5, but we knew we wanted a series of cigars, and we knew we really wanted to anchor them around color. We wanted something really, really simple and memorable that people could align with and smoke. One of the things that Dan and I learned as we spent more time in the business is, we had all these really beautiful Spanish names for our cigars that nobody can remember.
Sure.
And our name is pronounce them and all these things, which is fine. But when you're talking to somebody in a humidor and they're like, I smoked one of your cigars, I really liked it. It was and they're stumbling over the name. It can be really, really challenging for people to get back. And so I think, it was in many ways driven by like, what's one of the simplest ways that we can come up with something people can anchor to and decide to get back to. And we'd already been playing with colored bands alongside the names of our cigars. And that's sort of what stemmed to the idea of, well, if we're going to have a Migdalia have a white band and and a Torcedores have an orange band, why don't we kind of just take that idea and really blow it up? And so, and other companies have certainly done different variations on this as well. And so that's sort of how the color series was born. It was really a desire to come down to something very, very simple for people to remember. And then the other thing, and I think it aligns with this idea that we wanted something simple and easy and approachable, was we knew that we also wanted this whole series to be at a price point that was really aggressive. We had retired a previous bold series of cigars that had initially been our value cigars. As prices came up on that, we weren't making that cigar. We were unhappy with sort of the price creep we were seeing. And so we knew we wanted to get back into having a line of cigars that was priced in a really wallet-friendly way. And the only way we could do that was to really control the process from seed to shelf. And so those were kind of the 2 core tenets going in. And so then it was, okay, how do we do that? How do we accomplish great quality? How do we come up with marketing materials, especially even the look and the feel that still where all the money was going into the cigar, and we weren't necessarily investing a lot in bells and whistles, while also holding out this idea that everyone who opens a box of Micallef cigars should still get an iPhone experience. That just because it was a less expensive cigar, we didn't want people to feel like the opening or the unboxing felt less than, a cigar that was priced at, twice as much money. And that we think about that a lot, even outside of our cigars, right? Just how do we make sure that the quality is still there? And so even though the box is pretty simple and there's only one band, we tried to still capture a sense of luxury with the cigar.
Right. No, and I think you did that. Although simple, it looks fantastic. It looks, and I'm actually kind of glad the way with Abe not here, we can actually see right here in the background that you really get a good shot of that Micallef Red in the background. Let me ask you this, right? When it comes to picking the color, right? How does that work? Is there a vote? Is there a round table? Now, so because I can understand, okay, black, I can get, it's our boldest cigar, we ever made. It's kind of our strongest. It really but now when we get to like blue and red, like what is going to be blue, what's going to be red? How does that work? Is there a conversation? How does that go down? And who gets final say? Is it
How do you stop Amanda? I mean, how do you stop her?
Like,
I mean, she's like a tornado of power. So I don't know, Amanda, why don't you tell us, how do you pick the colors?
Well, okay. I mean, all
right, so there's no round table.
Black was, we knew one of the other things I didn't mention is when we came out with black too, we really recognized that we had the middle super well covered. And that we really wanted a cigar that would, at least for people who wanted to smoke something, that's a little stronger. We knew we wanted to push the limits of what our blenders had done before on strength. And so we knew that we wanted that to be black. And then we knew we wanted, we've talked about the fact that someday there may be a white, and so we sort of knew we were going to, if we come out with a white will obviously be the lightest. Sure. And so then it was like, okay, what makes sense in between? Right. So blue made a lot of sense in between. I mean, blue made a lot of sense for kind of a nice medium-bodied, creamy cigar, right? And so that's how blue happened. And then you start thinking about, like, we're going to split the difference. And so, Dan talked at the beginning of this about how red started with Ligero. And so then it's like, okay, what color, still feels impactful and feels strong, but maybe not as in your face as black. And so red became a fairly obvious choice. Anybody who's spent any time with Al or heard Al on a podcast, Al loves red. So we also knew red was going to be in the color series.
Red was a slam dunk.
So it had to get in there.
Right. So then it was like, okay, so where does red belong? And red certainly made more sense between blue and black than, say, a yellow or green and orange, something like that. Right. And so that's right. You sort of just start thinking about kind of how do these, we wanted them to at least give some sense of the cigar. And so that's kind of how we played the game. Who gets final say? I'm going to let Dan answer that.
Well, final say is only possible when you can produce a cigar, a box color that you can reproduce. The work that it takes to go into consistently holding red in the same place in the bands in the box is a major achievement that we certainly owe Alan Davis, who's runs our factory, he's the president of Micallef in Nicaragua.
Yes.
So there's a story behind this?
It's more practical. I think what Dan's really saying is, so it's more practical than you would think it would be. We used to try to match the Pantones, but now we literally send color chips down to the factory with Alan. And sometimes, depending on what it is, sometimes we have a color we already kind of are going for. The last round, we literally went to the paint store and got a bunch of color chips and then decided on like 3 or 4. And then we go down and he goes to the box maker and he goes to the band maker and he finds out what they can easily match closest. Like, we're good with any of these 5. Which one can you match the closest consistently?
And you can do it year over year.
Yeah, right. Because what we've heard is when we get really creative, they may get it right on the first batch of boxes, but because, you're still in Nicaragua, there's not everything is always readily available. And so we don't want to get so exotic that we can't match it again and again. So we try to go with something that they know is one of their kind of more core basic colors that they have, so that we know that when you get a red today and you get a red in 2 years, they're going to be very similar.
Right.
I've got to say, Alex, though, there was a fallback plan for red if we could match these color chips.
Really?
I told Alan, just pull out your pack of Marlboro Red and use Marlboro Red.
That's fair.
That's for 30, 40, 50 years. So
that's a red that works.
So we didn't end up going with Marlboro Red, but we went with Micallef Red, which is a slightly different shade.
Yeah.
I will say that, as somebody who spent time actually, working in the retail store and working a humidor, it makes it not only easy for the person working, but it makes it easy for the consumer, because I can't tell you how many times, I'm talking to someone and they'll say, damn, I don't remember. I smoked this cigar. It was a red and gold label. I can't remember who it was. I don't know if I got it here, but I know it was a red and gold label. I know it was a blue and gold. And so it makes your line, this color line, very distinctive. And it makes it easy to say, okay, red and gold could be this, could be that, could be Micallef Red, so it makes it easy for the consumer to remember. But also, I think that what it does, and especially with these cigars, just simply being the Micallef Red, the Micallef Black, the Micallef Blue, there will be consumers who may not even know the components of the cigar, but know that, oh, I like the red,
enjoy.
the reds that, that's the red's a little lighter than the black. And I know that and so it gives it its own recognition just by that color. And, again, this red and gold is really, really well done. In that price range, which we call aggressive pricing, but it just goes to show that, you can still put out really a beautiful product, a quality product. And you don't have to get beat over the head for it. $7.50, $8 for a Toro is really, it's fantastic. It's I've been saying it for at least 2 years now. It's the dying,
it's the dying place on the shelf. It's just not on the shelf.
It's not. The 8 to 10 range has really become the 10 to 13 range, and that 8 to 10 range is getting smaller and smaller. So it's nice to see one really, really attacking that range, because look, not everybody can afford $15, $16, $18 cigars. So to still be able to get something of this quality in that range is just fantastic. And credit to you guys for being able to pull that off.
Well, I think at Smoke Inn, you guys have a lot of people who really understand cigars well in the socialite community. And they have bought lots of great, incredible cigars over the summer. But to be able to come back where you can get a box count of 25 cigars for $200, I think that's a really special place. And if, while you're smoking your portfolio of what you enjoy, being able to work Micallef Red, Blue, or Black into it, it really kind of helps extend your cigar volume that you're able to manage inside of a budget. We're just really conscious of being able to want to put out these great cigars. Alex, I'll tell you though, there's one thing that's really important. We have to keep, as a company, working on how we sell more of these cigars, because the price points are dependent on the volume that we pull through the factory, even though it's our own factory. So we're still in a growth phase, but as people discover them, please smoke them, enjoy them, keep them in your daily or weekly rotation, because that helps us keep them at these price points. Otherwise, they'd be forced to go up if we can't hit the volume targets that we expect over time. And that's just the reality of manufacturing. We want to keep it right where it is, so that they take their hard-earned pay and they invest in our products. We want to give them the best that we can and a volume of the product that they're going to enjoy for a period of time.
Well, I think being able to put out a product in that range, it makes it more accessible. It makes it easier to commit to a 5-pack, which then when I get my 5-pack, I like and enjoy and say, you know what, this is worth grabbing 25 of them, and it's not going to kill me to buy. So, hopefully with that we see, and I'm sure we will, Black, for at least for us, Black and Blue have been wildly successful. Even past the first run, and that's always the important part, right? The first run is it's kind of there. The excitement's there.
Experimenting on the first run, yeah, absolutely.
Right.
The other thing that I noticed, I was reading the comments as we were talking, and I think that Blue has a little more momentum than Black right now. Black is built for a specific group of people who want to have that stronger experience. Blue is a little larger audience of people enjoy that experience, and I think that Red. You could tell me, Alex, do you think that Red is more like the Blue and that a larger group of people will like it, where Black has a little more targeted focus with it?
So I think Red is more accessible. I think that, and not to take anything away,
no, not at all,
from Black, but Black is a stronger cigar. It's a bolder cigar, right? So, and there's. So for a person like myself, I I am affected by the strength of a cigar. I can't smoke something too strong, midday. I will sit here and stare at my computer in a daze. It affects me.
And your sleep, right?
Absolutely. So same thing. Exactly. I have like a window. I have there's like a 7 to 9 p.m. window where I can smoke a stronger, anything before that, I'm kind of zoned out at my desk. Anything after that, I'm up at 4 a.m., like thinking about what I have to do for the next day, while also like thinking about starving children in Africa at 4 a.m. I'm like in a daze. So, but this red, while I would say stronger, obviously with the Habano wrapper and the broadleaf, stronger than the Sumatra blue, accessible for me. I first one I smoked it during the day. Didn't blow me away at all. Again, and there is a difference, folks, between strength and body. This is definitely a full body cigar, full thick smoke, but this is not something that's so strong that's going to put me in a daze or have me up at 4 a.m. still counting down how many hours I may get left asleep if I go to sleep in a half hour, and I do that it's 3 o'clock. If I fall asleep by 3:30, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe I'll get 4 hours tonight. Doesn't do that. This is a really a well-rounded cigar. So I think that this is not, those that may be a little hesitant to get into a bolder cigar, a stronger cigar, don't need to be afraid of this one. It doesn't have that strength that is going to be too much for someone at all.
The way we ferment and prepare our tobacco, all three of these cigars are very smooth cigars. The black has the strength from the Ligero, and in the blue and the red, we have less of that Ligero. So you made a great point where you said it's a full-bodied smoke, and your mouth feel, you taste it all over your mouth. The black you tend to taste on your lips and the front half of your tongue. The red is all over. The blue has many of those same characteristics, but it's a Sumatra wrapper on that cigar, so it kind of goes a different pathway. But it is probably comparable to the blue in terms of strength of the cigar, but the smoke and the body that comes from it is larger.
Absolutely. It really makes for an enjoyable cigar. I look forward to, so today was the launch, right? Everybody got their orders in. Tons of orders came in. I'm sure we probably got some, if not most, out today. Those of you that are ordering late, I'm sure they'll be out by tomorrow. We like to move quick. We like to get these in you guys' hands. But I always look forward to, seeing the posts, seeing the feedback. And, like I said, so far, 2 out of 3, it's been great. I don't see this being any different. Abe took some home, smoked them the past weekend, really enjoyed them with family. And so, I look forward to that. I look forward to that part too. After the launch, once they finally get into everybody's hands and everybody gets enjoying them, I look forward to seeing the feedback, seeing the pictures, seeing how people enjoy these types of cigars.
Yeah, and Moxie's scheduled us for scheduled September 18th. We're going to join the socialites and talk about it. So we're hoping that everybody can get them in and smoke a couple of them, so that when we get on September 18th, we can really talk about the cigars and do a little comparison with blue, black, and red, and talk about how we're making these things work and how we're creating 3 very different experiences, same company, same color series, but 3 very different experiences.
Yeah, that's always fun when Moxie does the brand, because at that point, like you said, everybody kind of has them in hands. We're smoking together, we're enjoying them together. And for those of you that aren't aware, Moxie does brand talks. She does them in the Whereby, which the link for the Whereby is in the featured posts and Smoking Social Facebook group. That's always a good time where it's not a broadcast at all. It's really just us getting to hang out and smoke together and talk and just kind of be a bunch of folks smoking in a cigar shop, except we're at our own homes. That's the beauty of the Whereby. A lot of not to switch gears, but I just keep seeing it. A lot of leakage of this green. I don't know if you guys
I've got my phone and I was about to respond back to Jimmy.
The worst kept secret.
The worst kept secret.
It's not a secret.
So I think there's a clarification that we have to make on green. This is all tobacco green product.
Right. Yes.
And yes, as many people know who are in the ambassador group, we had a cigar that was called Matafina. And we have blended a cigar that'll be Micallef Green. Still putting the finishing touches on it. We've had many ambassadors or socialites who've done sample kits with us where we're trying out some different versions. And it's been great getting their feedback. There's a lot of consistency with one particular version. So yes, green will become a reality. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, and that it goes into the schedule.
See, this is what I like. I like guys like Bruce. Bruce ordered himself a box, wants to get them in his hands, wants to have them, wants to get that nice keychain we're giving away. He'll get to smoke them. And then he's also going to join you guys in Delaware on the 21st, it looks like.
It'd be great to see you there, Bruce.
That's what's so exciting about the socials that we're doing. We get to do it tonight with you guys online. Then we're going to be out in some shops around the country. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So why don't you guys talk about that a little bit? What is the plan? What is the rollout of the socials?
Amanda?
Oh, he laid that right off.
So the idea, as I mentioned earlier, was to take sort of our open house concept out on the road, so hopefully more ambassadors can attend. And so we have 8 socials between now and the end of October, placed sort of strategically around the country. We tried to pick areas where we had a big concentration of ambassadors. I know not everyone has one right in their backyard, but we tried to get as close as we could. So we kick off the first one. I'll actually be in New York on Saturday for the first one at Avenue in the Bronx. So if anyone is in the sort of tri-state area, head up. We would love to see you guys there. But it's, you know, it's the idea is to smoke with friends and get to meet some ambassadors that you know, we share a lot of ambassadors with the socialites. And so some people that may only know in online verse, if you will, and meet them in person and come out. You know, we're bringing catering into all the events. We have some swag that will only be available at those events. You know, and so we're just trying to make it kind of a fun reason for people to come out and support a local brick and mortar, but also meet their fellow ambassadors, socialites, you know, and cigar lovers.
And how many of these are you doing?
Sorry, Alex.
How many of these are you doing?
We're doing 8.
Running September.
I think the last one I want to say is like October 26th. So they're spaced out. Where can we find that info? And so all that info is on the Micallef ambassador page in a pin post as well.
Nice. You know, I'll tell you what's great about the ambassador group and the Smoke In social group. While 2 separate groups, I feel like we both share, we share the core of our group. The core of our group is with you guys, and the core of your group is with us. You know, we really do, and it's actually been a great relationship.
You know, Alex, we're having so much fun being able to go to TGS and meet the socialites down at TGS. You know, our Micallef socials, while they won't have the entertainment aspect that TGS has, is kind of our version of going out and meeting ambassadors and many socialites at their home shops around the country. Sure. And that's what makes it great. You know, it's a little more intimate. You know, you'll be able to spend time with folks and really just, you know, like you said, just enjoy your cigars together, man. You know, so folks, keep that in mind. Get over to the Micallef ambassador page, check to see if they're coming in your area, and, you know, spend some time at a social with those guys. You know, this Reddit is a big deal. I've been looking forward. Like I said, fortunately I'm in the process. I get to be aware of these things a little earlier than others, but this was one I was excited for, you know, and here we are. It is out. We have it available. It'll be rolling out everywhere very soon. And, you know, I just got to say, man, well done to you guys. Once again, you knocked another one out of the park. You guys have a good hitting streak going on right now. And, you know, I do hope it continues, man. This is another cigar that will be in my rotation. Again, like I said, it is one that lands in that spot where I can pretty much smoke it at any time and really enjoy it. And I don't have to worry about, is it too strong? Is it too light? Does it fit? You know, I'm a broadleaf guy, and, you know, broadleaf as you know, you guys will see here when you guys get to start smoking this cigar. You know, this is a broadleaf cigar to me. There's something about broadleaf. It is thick smoke. It is really, it is,
I can tell when I'm smoking a broadleaf, you know, and even though it's not the wrapper, I think that it is without a doubt, it is the standout leaf of this cigar. You know, if it was a broadleaf wrapper and a San Andreas binder, essentially it would have the same effect for me. This is a broad cigar.
We talked about it on KMA. The key here is if we want to be able to hit the price points that we're trying to do with the Color Series, broadleaf as a wrapper is very sought after. We're a smaller company. We wouldn't have guaranteed accessibility to it. So we're able to bring the smoke flavors and the experience that you enjoy by changing the wrapper to something else that we're very good at, which is San Andreas Habano. And so I think that, you know, it's really the best of both worlds. And that's why we chose not to put it on the outside, is so that we could manage cost and availability and production and all those kind of manufacturing things. And it turned out that it was such a good experience. We said, this is the way to go. And it's absolutely phenomenal to taste that broadleaf as it really broadens the whole profile of the smoke that you get to enjoy.
I have a question here from Dave. Dave asks me to ask, which order would you guys recommend? I'm assuming you meant smoking. Spiking, I prefer the Icky Shuffle. The black, blue, and red, if you wanted to try all three.
Well, Dave asked me a question that we've been having some groups in, and we've been playing with how to arrange them. Amanda, do you want to go first with your perspective?
So it's really interesting because Dan and I actually had this conversation, I think it was Monday. And what my instinct would have been was you don't want to start with the black. However, now having done it a few different ways, you absolutely want to start with the black. I actually think you want to work backwards. Really go in the order we released. Go in the order strength. So go black, red, blue. I think gives you a really great sense of the cigars, the nuances, how you move through the different flavors. Now with that, though, you are starting with the stronger nicotine cigar. So plan accordingly, and palate cleanse and make sure you have some food and stuff if you're going to work in that direction. But I found, sort of having smoked them all in different ways, in different orders, that way the different flavors stood out the most clear to me, to go black, red, blue.
Yeah, Amanda, I think that you nailed it. You know, the black is a more focused flavor. It's not the strength of the cigar. It's the Maduro wrapper. Yeah, that's a Habano. Right. And then an Ecuadorian Habano binder. So it's a more focused flavor profile. And, you know, one of the things I'd suggest is being able to smoke the black third halfway, then light the red.
Yes.
And when you light the red, you know, we don't want to hide from anybody that the black and red are related cigars in terms of how they're manufactured and what tobacco goes in them. In the red, you have a lower amount of Ligero, which you can't taste, but you can feel. But with the broadleaf, the smoke feel encompasses your entire palate and your full mouth. And so you get a great experience when you have black and then red. And then the blue with the San Andreas Sumatra is almost like dessert because it's a sweeter cigar. And so you're starting out with a bang, with the black having that little higher nicotine concentration. It really helps you be alert and taste everything. And then as you work through the red, you get the broadleaf, and then you finish on this just amazingly smooth blue. So that's my recommendation. Alex, you've had all three. What do you think? Amanda, how's he going to resist if we both come out with black, red, and blue?
I know.
Alex come up with something else.
I know,
He's
exactly.
I think
I'm having internet issues for a second, guys. So steal the show for a minute. You be back? Okay, I think we're back.
Good.
You back?
Yes,
you're back. Okay. All right. So, were you asking me?
Yeah, I mean, if you've smoked all three,
you asking me for
I kind of think black, red, and blue, with blue being the dessert. What would your approach be? Same, different?
Well, I'll tell you. I would not smoke these back to back. Would if I was going to do this either way, I would go black, I would go red, black, red in that order, because the red is almost it's I don't want to say it's an offshoot of the black, but
it's
the similarities, and you'll really be able to see that you'll have that black and then have this red with the broadleaf. And I could go either way with the blue, but I would want some time in between. I would either smoke the blue earlier in the day, because Sumatra to me is very distinct, right? It's a very distinct flavor. I would smoke it earlier, take some time, whatever I'm doing, or the other way, have a black, have a red, and then later on, when I want to still have another one, have that blue. But I think that these Sumatras is a distinct wrapper and a distinct flavor. I wouldn't want to, for my enjoyment, smoke them back to back to back. So I could go either way, but I definitely agree with you both that black and then red, just to really have that experience of the transition from black to red and that different smoking experience.
You know, Alex, when we're talking about smoking black and red and blue to understand how the tobacco changes in each cigar, we're often not finishing each cigar. We're smoking half a black, and then we're lighting the red, and we're smoking about half of that, and then we're lighting the blue. And that's how we're able, in about an hour and a half or 2 hours, to be able to focus on what's going on in the tobacco. We're not able to finish the whole cigars at that time. We put them down, and then often what's left gets smoked later or the next day. But if we're really trying to work with all three at one time, we smoke about half the cigar.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. And in that case, yeah, I would. I think that the black and red have similar qualities that you'll want to compare, right after another. And then that blue has its own distinction again because it's Sumatra wrapper.
Yeah,
so that
beautiful
makes
contrast to finish on, kind of a dessert.
Right. I actually I tend to do that just in general smoking. As the night gets later, if I'm out, I'll wind up smoking a lighter cigar just to the fact, like I said before, I'm affected by the strength. And it's a nice, like you said, almost like a dessert.
Well, I'm looking at the comments and I can see that there's a lot of people weighing in. Seems like several people agree that might be the way to go. I think you should just get out and have fun with it with your friends and enjoy these cigars, and let us know. We certainly don't want to be a company that makes 3 cigars that are all colors and taste the same. We want it to be somebody who could build very distinct cigars. And I think as I look forward in my mind, the next ones all meet that same criteria. So this train is running full stream now down the tracks, and there will be more cigars beyond the red that will all be very distinct.
And again, and I think that's a nice part of these, because they are distinct cigars. You don't necessarily have to remember exactly what the components are to understand.
Just enjoy the colors that you enjoy.
Right. Right. And they have, you'll feel and understand the distinction between them.
When I smoke West Tampa, I don't know what's in the red and the white and the gray, but I know which ones I enjoy. And I think with Micallef, we've simplified the same way. And I know that I use that as an example because it's a brand that I enjoy, but I'm unfamiliar with what's in the cigars. Right.
And it helps, man. Listen, not everybody is as nerdy and geeky as we are, and they still enjoy the product. And you don't have to know the ins and outs of a product or understand intubado rolling method to be able to enjoy a cigar. That's what's great about the whole thing.
Well, the thing you should know about intubado is that it makes great construction for the cigars, especially when they're ultra tested. And we're certainly proud of the work the team's doing down for us in Esteli at our factory. and the attention to detail that they have to make these things come off every time that you buy, cut, and light one. You know that you spent your hard-earned money, and we want to make sure you've got a great product to enjoy.
Absolutely. So what's going on in Texas? What's up with the restaurant? You know, I always like to get the restaurant update.
If you've been along for the journey,
Yes.
we recently moved. Our lease was not renewed at our current space, and so we had to move. And so we've actually moved back into the building on the ground floor of the building the restaurant was originally in, but on the 30th.
It was right. Okay.
Correct. We don't expect this to be our long-term home. The restaurant that you visited with us was really big. This restaurant is not quite so big.
Really big is like an understatement. I guess it's really big for Texas terms, but it was massive, massive restaurant.
This is a more normal sized restaurant. We're still working on kind of what's going to be the next really big or Texas sized restaurant. And also having some interesting conversations. So stay tuned about possible adjunct event space. So we'll see how all that shakes out, but we could have some very cool announcements coming up soon. But it's been good. It's been fun. We're very lucky. The Fort Worth community is been super supportive through the move. So we feel incredibly grateful that people will continue to kind of go wherever we go. And so it's been great. It's been great to see. And it's fun. The new restaurant has all the old Western artifacts and things, but the feel is a little more modern, but still with all those, museum pieces. And I think that's a nice juxtaposition for 2024.
Sure. Alex, the restaurant's a lot like the cigar industry. If you change your rings on a cigar, even though the cigar is exactly the same, everybody votes on the cigar again.
Right.
And I think the thing that we're loving to hear is that even in the smaller footprint, people really like the modern feel with the artifacts. And to our delight, they say the food's even better. Yeah. So that's what you want. If you change bands on a cigar, you want to say it's better than it was, even if it's the same cigar. So we're having that experience with the restaurant. We're just fortunate that the Fort Worth community embraces us in their dining in the restaurant and the events that we do for people out catering for them all the time.
How far is it like in range of the old restaurant?
Oh, it's a block and a half.
2 blocks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you could throw a rock. So it's very close.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, it's funny. I remember when Abe and I came to visit, God, we had no idea, but we were smack in the middle of what we found out to be like the second largest art show in the country, or whatever that festival
that's
is.
Right.
We were like, holy shit, what's going on?
It's so funny. We move a block and a half, and we have guests at the restaurant who they come in and they say, "We are so glad that you moved. It is." We never could find the other one, or we couldn't get out of our office in time to get it. And their building sits on the block between the two locations.
Right.
Maybe 50.
And so they're all excited about the new location. We don't understand it. We just go, you're absolutely right.
That's funny. No, that's awesome. Good to hear. Glad to hear that it's up and running and everything is good. Great restaurant. I enjoyed it. We had a great time. Hopefully we come visit you guys again soon.
We hope so.
We'd love to host you.
No, great time. Great time. So sounds like you guys are going to be busy the next month or so, huh? On the road. Amanda, you doing all the traveling, or you?
No, we actually spread it around. I mean, it's enough because in addition to the socials, there's a lot of Red launch events, and so
sure.
There are some weekends where Dan's at one place, Al's at one place, I'm at another place. But all of us are definitely hitting the road. So it will be a busy but fun time.
Yeah, we have to thank our sales team. Nothing's ever easy organizing eight socials plus all the Red launch events. And so working with our sales team's been great experiences. They've helped identify the people who want to host us and, the catering and everything that goes with it. Yep. So it's really been a complete Micallef Cigars effort to be able to pull off the socials. And we're excited to be able to start here tonight and begin to get the word out. So we appreciate you and Abe and the whole Smoke Inn family for hosting us tonight.
No, absolutely, man. Thank you guys. You guys have, it's been a great partnership. It's nice to find people that are just like-minded and easy to work with, just kind of get it, and you guys get it. You know, so it's
Well, we're
it's
both
been a
good at
pleasure.
rolling with whatever happens in reality, right?
Yeah, we
Everybody
make it
does the
work.
best
You
they
make
can,
you
and
make
then we
things
make it
work. Absolutely. Well, with that being said, folks, once again, the Micallef Red is live now and available on the Smoke Inn website. Folks have been ordering all day. I have been enjoying these and plan on continuing to enjoy these cigars. Guys, much success to you as always. I appreciate you. Anything you guys want to throw out there? Also, but before I give it to you guys, make sure go to the Micallef Ambassador Facebook group. Check that pin post. See if these guys will be in your area. Go out, support them, spend time with them. One thing I will say, outside of broadcast for myself, these are two folks that I do enjoy to get to just sit down and talk with on a regular basis when we can, just as regular people, not always in front of a screen. So check that out, man. These are great people to talk to. They make great cigars. What do you guys got? Anything?
Amanda,
When's the first one? Amanda, you're heading out this weekend.
Saturday at Avenue in the Bronx. But I want to just thank everybody for watching tonight, and thank you for everyone who jumped online and bought these cigars. We know when you're buying early like this, you're definitely buying without sampling. And that means a tremendous amount to us that you have that kind of trust in what we're bringing out. So thank you very much.
Well,
yeah.
I think that, you know, you guys have now proven a track record where people are willing to say, you know, I trust the brand. And that's, you know, that's always a nice added bonus. You know, it takes away a little bit of fear of launching something brand new nobody's ever had, you know. So credit to you guys for that, for sure.
Well, we certainly love the socialites and the ambassadors and the people who are both being able to join us tonight. I've had a lot of fun looking at the comments with so many of our friends there. It's exciting for us to be able to launch with Smoke Inn audience here tonight. The first event where Amanda is your husband, Jason's going to be joining you, right? For people who want to meet Jason.
Yep.
You know, poor Jason.
He exists.
He exists. He's real.
He's very patient.
And, you know, if we can keep a secret among us.
Oh, you're not going to do
Amanda's birthday on that event.
Really?
So
nice.
I know
Make
it's
sure
going to be
you
a
guys
great
get
time
out
out there. Just a secret. Let's keep it between us.
And all of media. Thanks for that.
Yeah, don't be one of those, Amanda. It's your birthday. Enjoy it.
It's your birthday. We want to celebrate you. So the party's just getting started, and thank you for helping us kick it off. We missed Abe tonight, but we love him and we appreciate everything the entire Smoke Inn family does for us. Moxie, Briggs, the guys in the warehouse. We appreciate you all.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys. Thank you everyone for joining us. Get your red. When you get them reds, light them up. Make sure you take a picture, get it in social media, spread the word. I want to see the pictures. I want to get the feedback. These guys, of course, want the feedback. It's their cigar, but we look forward to that. Thank you for joining us. With that being said, I'm going to go to hell home. So everyone have a good night. Peace.
Good night.